My wife said she needed space to think. Turns out, she was staying with her work husband. I let her keep thinking, right up until she got home and found her stuff in labeled boxes with a note that said, "I hope he has better storage." I'm a 42-year-old guy living in Boise, Idaho. My wife, Rachel, is 39. We've been married for 15 years and have 2 kids, Ethan, 12, and Lily, 9. I work as a mechanical engineer, and Rachel is a marketing manager at a mid-sized firm downtown. Our life was pretty routine: work, kids, occasional date nights, and family trips to McCall or Sun Valley. About 6 months ago, Rachel started mentioning a coworker named Jake. She'd say things like, "Jake said the funniest thing today," or "Jake and I are working on this big project together." I didn't think much of it at first. I mean, people have work friends, right? But then, she started dressing up more for work, staying late more often, and always seemed glued to her phone. One evening, I asked, "Hey, everything okay? You've been pretty busy lately." She replied, "Yeah, just a lot going on at work. Big campaigns and tight deadlines." I nodded, but something felt off. A month later, Rachel sat me down and said, "I think I need some space to think. I'm feeling overwhelmed and need time to sort out my thoughts." I was taken aback. "Space? What does that mean? Are you leaving?" She hesitated. "Not leaving, just, maybe staying at a friend's place for a bit." "I need clarity." I asked, "Is this about us? Did I do something wrong?" She shook her head. "No, it's not you. I just need to figure things out." I didn't want to push her away, so I agreed, hoping it was just a phase. Rachel packed a bag and said she'd be staying with her friend, Lisa. But something didn't sit right with me. Lisa and Rachel had drifted apart over the years. I decided to call Lisa to check in. "Hey, Lisa. Just wanted to thank you for letting Rachel stay with you." There was a pause. I haven't seen Rachel in months." My heart sank. "She said she was staying with you." Lisa sounded concerned. "No, she's not here." I thanked her and hung up. My mind raced. Where was Rachel? I remembered she had shared her location with me on her phone for emergencies. I checked it and saw she was at an address I didn't recognize. I looked it up. It was Jake's apartment. I was furious. I wanted to drive over there and confront them, but I held back. I needed a plan. I decided to wait. I documented everything: the location data, timestamps, and even took screenshots. I contacted a lawyer and explained the situation. He advised me to gather as much evidence as possible. Over the next week, I continued to monitor her location. She was consistently at Jake's place. I even saw her car parked outside his apartment complex when I drove by discreetly. I couldn't let this slide. I started packing up her belongings. I labeled each box meticulously. Clothes, shoes, books, personal items, and so on. I placed them neatly in the garage. I wrote a note and placed it on top of the boxes: "I hope he has better storage." I changed the locks and informed the kids that their mom was staying elsewhere for a while. Rachel returned a week later, surprised to find herself locked out. She called me, angry and confused. "What the hell, Mark? Why are the locks changed?" I replied calmly, "Your things are in the garage. I know where you've been." She was silent for a moment. "Can we talk?" I agreed to meet at a neutral location. We sat down, and she tried to explain. "I didn't mean for this to happen. Jake and I just connected, and I was confused." I asked, "Why lie about staying with Lisa?" She looked down. "I was scared of hurting you." I told her, "You already did." We discussed the next steps. I told her I wanted a divorce. She agreed, understanding that trust had been broken. The divorce process was painful, but I focused on the kids and my work. I sought therapy to cope with the betrayal. Rachel moved in with Jake, but from what I hear, their relationship is rocky. I've started dating again, cautiously. Trust is hard to rebuild, but I'm hopeful. To anyone going through something similar, trust your instincts, gather evidence, and prioritize your well-being. About 3 weeks after our talk at that coffee shop, I thought I'd finally get a breather. Thought the worst was over. I was wrong. One Thursday night, around 8:30 p.m., Rachel showed up at the house. No call. No text. Just pulled into the driveway like she still lived here. I saw the headlights through the window. I opened the door before she could knock. She was smiling like nothing had happened. I just wanted to see the kids, she said. I miss them. I didn't let her in right away. You could have called. She looked past me like she expected to just walk in. They're sleeping, aren't they? I won't wake them. I just want to sit for a while. Please, Mark. I stepped aside, mostly because I didn't want her making a scene on my front porch. She walked in, looked around, and said, "Everything feels the same." Then she sat on the couch like it was still hers. I stood by the hallway. What's this about? She shrugged. Jake and I are taking a break. I said nothing. Just stared. Maybe I made a mistake, she added, softly. The next morning, I got a call from a blocked number. I let it go to voicemail. Hey, Mark. This is Jake. I think you should know. Rachel's been telling me some things. Things about you. If you want to talk man to man, call me. I played it twice. Then a third time. I didn't call back. But now I was wondering, what the hell was she telling him? That night, I checked our shared cloud storage. We had an old family Google account. I'd forgotten about it. Turns out, Rachel hadn't. She had uploaded screenshots. Conversations. Photos. Things taken way out of context. Old arguments from texts made to look like abuse. Cropped photos. Things that could make someone think I was a terrible husband. And she shared the folder with Jake. My heart was pounding. I opened every file, every note. She'd been rewriting our marriage for him. I didn't sleep that night. I booked an appointment with my lawyer the next morning. I showed him everything. This looks like she's building a case for custody, he said. What? She left. She moved in with another guy. He shook his head. Doesn't matter. Courts can be unpredictable. Especially if she claims emotional distress or paints you as unstable. I felt sick. I was doing everything right. I was the one who stayed calm. Who stayed for the kids. But now, she was turning things on me behind the scenes. She's trying to flip the whole thing, I said. Exactly, he replied. Rachel came by again the following week. This time she brought cookies. Cookies. Like we were back to being friends. Brought these for Ethan and Lily, she said. Also. Jake and I broke up. I didn't care. I didn't say a word. She sat on the steps. You know. I thought I was unhappy. But now I don't even know what I was chasing. I stared at her. You were chasing attention. She didn't answer. Then she said, I think we should try again. For the kids. That hit me hard. Because part of me still missed her. But the smarter part knew she wasn't here for the kids. She was here because her fallback plan fell through. I think you're trying to fix your mess, I said. But not for the right reasons. Later that night, Lily asked me, why did Mommy stop living here? She's 9. I wasn't ready for that question. I took a breath. Mommy needed time to think. She looked down. She said you made her sad. My stomach dropped. Did she say that to you? She said she might come back if you stop being mean. Mean. That word. Rachel was poisoning their minds. Planting seeds. I held back my anger and said, "You know I love you, right? No matter what." She nodded. But something had changed. A few days after Rachel's cookie drop visit, Ethan came home from school with a crumpled piece of paper in his backpack. He handed it to me like it was homework he forgot to turn in. "It's from Mommy," he said. I unfolded it. It was a handwritten letter. But not to Ethan. It was addressed to Jake. It started with "I miss you." My hand shook. The rest of the letter was a messy mix of emotion. She wrote about how she felt trapped by routine and forced into a life that never really fit. She said she still loved Jake but that he was too immature to be what she needed. Then came the kicker. "If Mark wasn't so good at playing the victim, I'd have the kids with me by now." That line hit like a punch to the throat. She wasn't done. The last paragraph made everything clear. "I'm working on getting sympathy from the judge. If I show up broken enough, maybe he'll agree that I should have the kids full time. Jake, once I get them, we can start over. But right now, I have to play nice." I didn't confront her about the letter right away. Instead, I made copies. Gave one to my lawyer. He looked me in the eye and said, "This changes everything." I also started recording every drop-off and pick-up. I set up a camera by the front door. I told the kids nothing but made sure everything was logged, in case she tried anything. The next week, Rachel showed up in tears. Real ones. The kind that make you second-guess everything. She said Jake hit her. Not physically, but emotionally. Said he ghosted her after she asked for help with her plan. He left me alone. Told me I was crazy. Said he didn't want anything to do with kids. I didn't comfort her. I asked, "So now you want to come back here?" She didn't say yes. But her silence said everything. One morning, around 6:30 a.m., someone knocked on the door. It wasn't Rachel. It was two officers. They said there was a report of domestic disturbances from this address. Someone had claimed the children were living in a volatile and emotionally unsafe environment. They asked to speak with Ethan and Lily. I let them in. Calmly. I showed them everything. The custody agreement. The lawyer's letters. The footage from the last 3 visits. Even the letter Ethan accidentally brought home. One officer nodded as he scrolled through the video on my laptop. "We get these kinds of reports more than you'd think," he said. "She's trying to start a paper trail." They left. But the damage was done. The kids were now part of an official visit. And Rachel had made it real. A week later, Jake called me again. This time, I picked up. He didn't sound smug like before. He sounded tired. "Look man, I'm not calling to fight," he said. "I think you should know Rachel's been messaging my ex trying to dig up dirt on me to flip back into your favor." I asked why he cared. "Because I made a mistake, alright?" I believed her. Thought she was the victim. But she lied to me, too. And now I just want her out of my life. He paused. "I'm sorry for what I was part of." Last weekend, Rachel showed up at my job. I work at a tech company just outside downtown Boise. She came into the lobby, crying, demanding to talk. Security had to escort her out. But not before she screamed, "You're ruining my life." That was it for me. I filed a formal report with my lawyer. We're pushing for full custody now. But even with all this evidence, I'm nervous. Because she's unpredictable. She's not done yet. Not even close. Rachel texted me out of nowhere on a Wednesday, "Can we do dinner together with the kids? Just one night. For them." I was hesitant. She'd burned every bridge, then tried to walk across the ashes like nothing had happened. But Ethan and Lily missed her, even after everything. So I said yes. We picked a quiet restaurant in Meridian. Family-friendly, not too crowded. She showed up dressed like it was a date. Red blouse, full makeup, new heels. I kept it simple, jeans, a polo, tired eyes. At first, it was normal. Too normal. We talked about school, Lily's piano recital, Ethan's science project. But there was tension under every smile. Like a thread ready to snap. Then she said it. I've been talking to a therapist. I think I made a huge mistake. I looked at her. She didn't look at me, just swirled her water glass like she was bracing herself. I don't think Jake was who I thought he was, she continued. And I don't think you're the man I thought you were either. My jaw tightened. What's that supposed to mean? I mean, maybe I jumped to conclusions. Maybe I messed everything up trying to chase something that was never real. I glanced at Ethan and Lily, both quiet, watching us like a tennis match. Rachel leaned in, voice low now. I want to come back. The air left my lungs. Before I could respond, Ethan, our quiet, observant kid, spoke up. You said Daddy was mean. You said he didn't want us. Rachel froze. What? No, honey, I didn't. You said you were crying all the time because he yelled at you, Lily added, eyes wide. That he pushed you out. That was it. Everything boiled up. 15 years. Betrayal. Lies. Now she was using their innocence like a shield. You told them that? I asked, barely able to keep my voice steady. Rachel's face went pale. I didn't say it like that. No, I said. You twisted it like that. People were starting to notice. A couple at the next table glanced over. A server hovered, unsure what to do. I stood up. Let's go. Rachel reached for Lily's hand. Please, Mark. Let's just talk, no more talking, I said. Not in front of them. We left her sitting there. Alone. Red blouse, nice heels, cold water, and a fake apology. Later that night, she texted, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. I was scared. I didn't know how to fix it, so I tried to shift the blame. I didn't reply. The next morning, her sister Sarah called. Sarah never liked me much. But she was crying. Mark, she's not okay. I found her last night drunk, on the bathroom floor. She kept saying she ruined her life. I believed it. And I still didn't want her back. I wasn't angry anymore. Just, done. The hearing happened 3 weeks later. The judge heard everything. The false report. The police visit. The footage. The letter. The emotional manipulation. Rachel cried on the stand. She said she was confused, overwhelmed, trying to escape. When my turn came, I didn't go for revenge. I just told the truth. About the pain. The betrayal. What she told the kids. In the end, the judge granted me primary custody. She'd get weekends. Supervised at first. Then maybe more, if she showed she could stay stable. Rachel nodded, wiping tears, accepting it. Maybe for the first time, she realized she couldn't rewrite what she destroyed. Ethan sleeps better now. Lily doesn't ask as many questions. Rachel still texts sometimes. Short, polite things like, can I drop off Lily's jacket, or tell Ethan good luck on his test. She's seeing a real therapist now, not just saying she is. As for me? I'm rebuilding. Slowly. Therapy helps. So does honesty. Sometimes, I walk into the garage and look at the old boxes I packed her stuff in. Most of it's gone now. But one still sits there, marked miscellaneous. I think about burning it. I think about donating it. But for now, it stays. Not because I want her back. But because it reminds me of what I survived. I used to think marriage was forever. That if you tried hard enough, loved deep enough, it could survive anything. But it can't survive lies. Not the kind that grow in silence and eat away at the truth. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I'm just awake now. And that's something. That's everything.